Hello, GW, and welcome to this week's Top Headlines. I'm Jessica Nix. More lawsuit losses for the Trump team this week as the president and his administration continue to push baseless conspiracy theories about Trump's electoral loss. So let's dive in. It's been 1 month since the 2020 election was called for Joe Biden, and President Trump is still pushing conspiracy theories about a supposedly fraudulent election. In an interesting move from Attorney General William Barr this week, Barr denounced the theories and said the Department of Justice has found no evidence of widespread voter fraud that could change the outcome of the election. Barr told the Associated Press that the U.S. attorneys and FBI agents have been following up on specific complaints, but so far, nothing has been found that could change the election. Through his time in office, Barr has been one of Trump's fiercest allies. There is now speculation Barr will be fired in the 7 weeks Trump has left in office. After Trump pardoned his former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn this week, who pled guilty for lying to the FBI about the Russia investigation, speculation has risen about more Trump pardons for those close to the president. This past week, President Trump has been discussing the possibility of preemptively pardoning his children, Donald Trump Jr., Eric Trump, and Ivanka Trump, as well as Jared Kushner, Rudy Giuliani, and Trump himself. This attempt at pre-pardoning stems from Trump's fears over legal action taken by the future Justice Department under President-elect Biden. Those included in this potential pardon have a range of investigations surrounding them. Donald Trump Jr. has been investigated prior by special counsel Robert Mueller, and during this investigation, Jared Kushner lied to federal authorities. Eric and Ivanka Trump's reasons for pardons remain less clear, though it is assumed to be regarding millions of dollars of illegal tax write-offs in New York. Rudy Giuliani has been investigated in New York as well for his relationship to Ukraine as both an ambassador and a businessman. As for the president pardoning himself, the legality of this move is still unclear. President Trump has been adamant about proclaiming his right to preemptively self-pardon, but experts still lack evidence that this would be legal since it has never been attempted by a president before. If a self-pardon turns out to be illegal, it is possible that Vice President Mike Pence could invoke the 25th Amendment and grant President Trump a pardon. Though he may receive his desired pardon, Trump could still fall victim to any offenses committed under a state law, since presidential clemency power covers the federal law only. Additionally, a pardon eliminates the option to invoke the Fifth Amendment. If Trump were to appear before Congress, refusal to testify or lying would be considered a new crime. It is important to remember that a federal pardon is an admission of guilt for the crime committed. As Trump's time in office continues to run out, we will see how he plans to use his last few weeks of presidential power potentially with these pardons. On the other side, President-elect Joe Biden is announcing and building his team. Here's Emmanuelle Dyer Melhado with an update on Biden's administration officials.
Thank you, Jessica. With inauguration getting closer and closer, President-elect Joe Biden is announcing who will be joining his administration. Most recently, his picks for the White House communication team are already making history. Elizabeth Alexander, Kate Bedingfield, Ashley Etienne, Karine Jean-Pierre, Jen Psaki, Pili Tobar, and Simone Sanders are part of the first ever communications team whose senior roles are all filled by women. Jennifer Psaki will serve as the face of the Biden administration in her role as press secretary. Her past work for the State Department and vast expertise in foreign policy has earned her praise from people such as John Kerry, Robert Gibbs, and Susan Rice. In a similar role, Karine Jean-Pierre will be Principal Deputy Press Secretary. Having previously worked as a political commentator for NBC and MSNBC, and also as the Chief Public Affairs Officer for Move On, many see her as a new progressive voice that can deeply influence the Biden administration. Her past work for the Obama campaigns and consequent administration only adds to the valuable experience she will bring to her work with Ms. Psaki. The Vice President-elect, Kamala Harris, also has a powerhouse leading her team with Simone Sanders as chief spokeswoman and senior advisor. During the past couple of months, Sanders has been one of the most prominent voices for the Biden-Harris campaign. And while viewed as an up-and-comer for some, Simone Sanders was actually Bernie Sanders' press secretary for his 2016 presidential campaign. These new administration picks are beating Biden's campaign promise of hiring more minorities and women for his administration. Back to you, Jessica.
Thank you, Emmanuelle, and thanks for watching. I'm Jessica Nix, and we'll see you next week with more Top Headlines.